6-woman tag match. Lita, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch is taking on Damage Control. I know we talked about it last week a little bit. We were anticipating they were going to do Bailey versus Trish, but it doesn't look like they're doing that. And we're both confused as to why Damage Control dropped the titles. I think there's really only one thing that could make it make sense, and that is to break up Damage Control. I think that's the only thing that it could really lead to. And on Monday Night Raw, we caught a glimpse of that too, because Bailey sort of accepted the challenge, and EO and Dakota sort of looked at her like, "What are you doing?" But like, what do you think about
Same thing with the tag team championships and stuff like that.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're probably gonna break up Damage Control at some point. I just don't. I'm just still confused. Like I don't love. Like it's weird. In any other situation, I like this 6-woman tag. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I still do, and it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun. Like it's not. But it's just like, why did they put the titles on Lita and Becky? Like I was justifying the shit out of it last episode.
Yeah.
And then they make this match because I was justifying the shit out of it, being that they would drop them at WrestleMania and give one of these younger stars a WrestleMania moment in picking up the titles over Becky and Lita. But now they're not defending them at Mania. It's really confusing. And also, the other thing is they could have set it up to where you had 2 women's matches on each night. Now you only have 3 women's matches total. And I'm like, not that, but it's like, I don't know. One of the nights is only going to have 1 women's match. And that doesn't seem like really like fair. Like
That's some AEW stuff right there, man.
Yeah, bro. And like Triple H has been really good at that. And I'm not definitely saying that there's not going to be any other women's matches.
I think it's unlikely.
I think there's a chance they drop the tag team titles before WrestleMania. Because they've been focusing on the tag teams, the women's tag teams on SmackDown a lot more than they have been on Raw, to be honest, as of late.
But so I don't. The thing with that is,
could you see like they have a tag team title match and Damage Control costs them the titles, and then the titles are out of that.
But who's going to win them? Because Ronda's reportedly hurt.
Just have Shayna and Ronda win, bro.
Ronda can get through
it. Yeah, like she'll get through it. Have Shayna work most of the match. She's better than Ronda anyway.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Like, that's not even
way better.
I think,
bro, she's way better.
That, even though
she's way better. Shayna. I don't know why people. Shayna Baszler gets unnecessary hate, bro. Yeah. She is good and she is funny.
She's yeah.
She's a good heel, bro. Baszler. Like Shayna should have been the original. Like they should have. What Ronda Rousey is like, it just should have been Shayna Baszler this whole time. Like it just, if we're being real, like they should have just billed Shayna Baszler as like the Ronda Rousey, and it would have been whatever.
And it's also just like, because she had a really good run in NXT, and then the one women's elimination chamber match, she fucking eliminated everybody, and then it's just like, what happened, you know? But I just think, I don't know. I think this match would make more sense if the women's tag titles were not involved.
Agreed.
Then again, like I don't know who else they would put them on. Chelsea Green and Carmella.
Like, bro, I kind of don't. I don't know. I kind of have a little more faith in Triple H to put more than 3. No, I'm not with the women's tag team titles. I'm saying to put more than 3 women's matches within 2 days. Like, bro, having 1 women's match on one of the nights is crazy.
Yeah.
To go from having what did they have last year?
What's the match going to be?
What do you mean?
Like, what's going to be the 4th match? If it's not going to be Bailey and Trish.
Shayna and Ronda. What about Shayna versus Ronda?
Nah. I mean, it would be fun, but I'd rather just
Yeah.
have them as a tag
Let's see.
team. Because
That's
do you think, all right, let me say this. Do you think there's any shot that this does get turned into Trish versus Bailey and then Becky and Lita versus Io and Dakota?
I still think there is a chance of that. I don't think that's 100% out of the question.
I think, I mean, yeah, I think there's a small chance, but I just feel like they usually wouldn't do that if they already made like they made the poster and like graphic and stuff for the match already. So it's just like I feel like once they do that, they're not going to really break up the match. But like I don't know. I don't know what other besides like those, I don't know what other women's match they would do. I think there is probably a small chance that Becky and Lita lose the titles before WrestleMania. I don't know if that would be to Shayna and Ronda. I would totally be fine with it if it was to Chelsea and Carmella. Like you said, having Damage Control sort of cost them the match. I think that would also help build like this feud up a lot too if they like had them cost them the titles. But like besides that, I don't really know what else that they would like the last match that they would do as like a fourth match because I do agree like WWE has been doing a good job at like putting more women's matches on the cards. It's definitely something that AEW struggles with, but like I don't know what else the match would be if it's not really like involving.
All right. I mean, how much do we want to go off Meltzer's word? I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm just going to say I won't sway one way or the other. I'm just going to say per Dave Meltzer. How about that?
Say per Dave Meltzer, you take it as you will.
Yeah. Per Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer. Wrestling Observer Radio. So this is what Meltzer said. Meltzer said they still have a tag title match planned. And whoever the champions are, like, they're going to be wrestling Ronda and Shayna. That's the plan as of if Ronda is okay. And the impression is that Ronda will be okay for Mania. He also said, I don't know if Kai and Sky are going to win the belts back or if it's going to be Lita and Becky. But Rousey and Baszler are getting tag team title shots as Mania. That's the plan. That's apparently per Dave Meltzer. Take that as you will.
Okay. Because, dude, I saw something that said Ronda's not going to be 100%.
And I was not
Mania.
I was so that was an hour ago, that report that I just saw.
Gotcha.
That was an update, it said. But so this is my other thing. I didn't say the Ronda and Shayna thing based on like any reports I saw. I was just going off like my thoughts. I don't know though, man. Like, who could you see them doing? Ooh. I like this. I think I like this.
Okay. You have me intrigued.
What if? Okay. So I don't know how we make this happen. Damage Control. It's fucking so stupid.
Just spill it, man.
Damage Control win the titles back before Mania. Somehow.
Such a WWE thing.
I know. And then Bailey agrees, like on Io and Dakota's behalf, to a tag team title match at WrestleMania against Ronda and Shayna. Night one, they lose the tag team titles to Ronda and Shayna, and they're fucking pissed. And then night two, they have to do another, and they're like pissed that going into the match they're pissed because they're like, Bailey, we're already in a match, now we have to wrestle both nights and defend the titles,
Oh, a little
and
double duty.
and then yeah, that's what I'm saying, double duty for that. That's what I'm saying. It might not be like whatever, but then it would be double duty. They lose the titles, and then the next night, Damage Control breaks up, causing like Becky, Trish, Lita to go over.
Do you think? You don't think Becky and Lita would want to be involved in like the rematch for the women's tag titles?
Maybe. I just don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of ways in the story to make it work. But I guess I'm just overthinking it, and they can really just do whatever the fuck they want. But yeah. Who goes? I'm not gonna 100% say that they're for sure even gonna be on the card. Like I said, I'm gonna take all the information I read with a grain of salt, but we'll see. I mean, Ronda and Shayna are the team to put the titles on moving forward. And I think if that was the whole plan, like this whole plan was to get the titles off Damage Control, like just to get them to Ronda and Shayna, whatever. Then I'm kind of okay with that. But I'm really confused on where the fuck we're going from here.
Yeah. So like,
unless Lita and Becky are pulling double duty.
I mean, I think that Ronda and Shayna, if they're going to win the tag titles off of anyone, it's going to be off of Becky and Lita.
That's what I feel like.
Because I don't think they're going to do Damage Control against Shayna and Ronda because they're two heels. But I think like it's sort of like what you said last week. If Ronda and Shayna beat Becky Lynch and Lita at WrestleMania for the women's tag titles, like that would do a lot. Even just like having their names on the resume of people they defeated. But like that is still the biggest flaw with WWE is the women's tag titles. And I think it's really like, I don't think it's that hard to fix. You need long title runs and you need women going together to actually go after the titles and not just like want to face Ronda and the titles happen to be evolved. Like it's really that simple. And I think a way they could go about it is like, I still think Ronda and Shayna will be the next women's tag champs after Becky and Lita. And I think it could be a thing that's like when Ronda and Shayna are the tag champs, they could sort of just start bullying the entire women's locker room, sort of like they have been. And then the women just being like, listen, like we got to team up to take them down because like they're just like on this like massive reign of terror. And then like that's sort of how you can start to like form some women's tag teams. But then again, I also would be completely cool with like Chelsea Green and Carmella winning. They sort of like.
What if we get Chelsea Green and Carmella versus Ronda and Shayna?
That's going to be a squash fest if I've ever seen one. Which would suck.
Yeah, big kind of funny though.
It would be funny. I think like I feel like they're sort of remind me of like the Iconics. So
the Iconics were better in the ring.
Yeah.
Than Carmella, at least.
For sure. Yeah, man. We love the Iconics. They really dropped the ball with them, huh?
Ain't that the truth?
And Peyton Royce is someone that Bailey wanted in her faction as well. So who knows? We're very confused with what's going on in this women's tag team division and like the women's tag team title picture. And
it's also very possible they just won't defend them. It is possible. But I have a little more faith in Triple H to have 2 women's matches on each night.
I think it's the most likely outcome is it's just as it is right now, and they don't have a 4th women's match.
Yeah, I would say I lean more that way, but I'm hopeful.